have a question for you. What is your number one marketing asset? You probably thought I would say Pinterest, right? That's definitely a close second, but it's not number one. It's not Instagram. It's not TikTok. It is not Facebook. Your number one marketing asset as an author is your newsletter. Why? Because your email list is actually the only thing you own. Now, this is Marketing Monday, and I do focus on Pinterest. So today I'm going to show you how to use Pinterest, you knew it was coming, to grow your email list. Doing this will help keep you from shouting into the social media void. That is always a win in my book. Stick around to the end because I want to share one pin that's doing incredibly well for me right now and how I made that happen. It is bringing me new subscribers to my list every single week. And you can do that too. Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa Bourbon, bestselling author, writing coach, founder of Writer's Spark Academy. Every Monday, we talk about marketing for authors, smart, sustainable strategies that actually work for creatives like us. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and tap that little bell so you never miss an episode. I really appreciate it. I love that you're here. Okay, let's start with why your newsletter matters. The short answer is because it is your space. You're not trying to tap into another platform's algorithm. You are not up against competition. It is just you and your readers. When someone joins your list, they are saying to you, I want to be here. I'm choosing to be here. I want to hear from you. And that is incredibly powerful. You can nurture that connection by sharing behind the scenes stories, sneak peeks, other bookish fun things to engage your newsletter subscribers. I share about my dogs. Talk to the people on your subscriber list to build one-on-one relationships. It is so powerful. And it translates to converting those people to your readers. I think of my newsletter as the foundation of my author career. Everything else, social media, ads, launches, even Pinterest, builds on that newsletter list. Now, if you saw my last Marketing Monday video on phase one of a book launch, you know that I am in phase one right now for the March release of House of Spells and Secrets. I'm using several different strategies and tactics during this pre-launch, but one of the big things I'm getting ready to bring live is a lead magnet to drive newsletter subscribers to my Ivy Cassidy newsletter, which is a brand new newsletter, brand new pin name for this book. I'm already working on building relationships with the current subscribers that I have. And eventually, all of this is going to lead to early pre-orders of this book. Everything else I'm doing is secondary to building this newsletter list. Watch that video next. Okay, now let's talk about how Pinterest comes into play. As you know, Pinterest is not a social media platform. It is a search engine. Readers go there to find inspiration or answers to questions or problems like books to read, writing tips, cozy aesthetic boards, witchy vibes, whatever fits your niche. There are people searching for it. Trust me on that. You also know, hopefully, that it's an evergreen platform, which means your pins can keep working for you months and even years after you post them. And here's one of the many, many things I love about Pinterest, and that is that you can use it to drive traffic directly to those lead magnets that you've created. Freebies, checklists, quizzes, sneak peek downloads, whatever you've created, all of which can work to grow your list. And like all things with Pinterest, it's doing the work for you behind the scenes after you post that pin. So you're kind of like done. That's the best. So I have an example. My Pinterest for Authors Quick Start Guide pin that I have in my Writer's Spark account. It has been clicked thousands of times. It brings new people to my Writer's Spark list almost every single day, which leads to people enrolling in my Pinterest Power for Authors course, which is the funnel that I've created. The links to both of those, by the way, are below. It really works. So let's say you want to create pins that are going to help you build your newsletter list. What kind of pins do you actually make? I use several. Let's take a look at those. The first are resource pins. Promote your lead magnet directly. A pin that says, download a free magical mystery novella is one of my lead magnet pins. Then I include Social Proof, one of the best novels I've ever read from a BookBub reader. Or here's another one, Pinterest Power for Authors in 5 days, a free email course. So these pins are giving a call to action and they're telling the person looking at it exactly what they're going to get for free. And everyone loves free. So a complimentary lead magnet is always going to perform. Number 2 is a value-based blog post or video pin. Share something helpful or interesting that links again to your newsletter sign up. I have a pin titled Witches of Chesapeake Bay with a call to action, read on the blog. There, I have a pop-up window on my website prompting visitors to join my newsletter. So once they're on my website, I have a pretty good chance that they're going to join my newsletter. You can also include a link at the bottom of your blog post that goes directly to your sign-up landing page. Be creative, and if you want inspiration, you can see the links to my blog posts below. Third is to tap into the reader experience with pins. Think lifestyle or aesthetic. Aesthetic is huge on Pinterest because it is a visual platform. Here's an example. Take my What Kind of Witch Are You quiz. A quiz works because they're interactive and they're fun and they build connection through curiosity. So again, once people are on my website because they've clicked to take the quiz, they're prompted to join my list. If they're already on my list, the pop-up won't show. When you add a strong call to action in every pin description, something like grab your free guide or join my reader circle for more bookish magic, that is always helpful. You want to be creative in tapping to what you think readers are looking for. Animals are popular, quizzes are popular, quotes are popular, things that you think your readers are looking for that you can use to lead them to your email list sign up. The final tactic is optimization. I have a video about that specific topic if you want more, so look for that link below. But here are a few quick tips for making Pinterest work harder for you. Number 1 is to use keywords in your titles and descriptions. Think like your readers. What are they searching for? Once you have the answer to that, you use those keywords to embed into all of your pin elements. Number 2 is to create multiple pin designs for the same link. You never know which one is going to take off. And yes, I have a video for this, so check that out. Number 3 is to track your analytics. You start to see which freebies or which topics or which pins are resonating the most. And yes, I do have a video for that too. Plus, all of this, y'all, is included in Pinterest Power for Authors, the course, if you want to dig deeper. That link is below. For me, pins about my dogs, cozy reading spaces, other aesthetic things, witchy things as I'm building my Ivy Cassidy persona, all of these things do really, really well. And then once people are on my website, bam, they're getting my pop-up, they're prompted to join my newsletter, and this is how I am building a loyal audience. So to recap, Pinterest brings you traffic. Your lead magnet or pop-up captures their email, and then your newsletter helps you build a relationship with that person, which will convert them to readers. That is how you create an ecosystem or a funnel that keeps working for you a long, long time after posting those pins in the first place. Okay, now I promised you an example. So one of my current top performing pins links to a blog post I did where I shared quotes by Wednesday Addams. Very appropriate for this time of year, October, because of course I am using those kinds of keywords also. Why is this pin successful? For a variety of reasons, but basically it uses pin signals. I was really strategic in how I posted this pin and all of my pins, actually. I used strong imagery, text overlay with a clear message, a strong title and description with a call to action. It's one of several fresh pins leading to the same blog post. I used all 8 pin signals. That's the secret. You can grab the pin signal checklist via the link below. And yes, there is a video on that topic too. The checklist breaks down the 8 signals Pinterest looks for. Those are things like keywords, freshness, how to boost engagement. So you can make sure that every pin that you post has the best chance of being discovered. I use it every time I create a pin, and it's truly become second nature for me. It will for you too, the more that you use it and the more that you internalize these signals. When you use pin signals, your pins can bring new subscribers to your list. They keep my list growing on autopilot. Pinterest is steady, evergreen growth. You do the work once and the platform keeps working for you. And when you use it to grow your newsletter list, it's doubly powerful for you as an author. The power of your newsletter is so huge. I really encourage you to make yours the foundation of your marketing efforts. You will not regret it. It's like your number one resource. And that's it. Newsletter, number one author asset. If you found this video helpful, give the video a like and subscribe for more Marketing Monday videos. I have craft videos every Thursday. Share my channel with your author friends. It really does take a village. And I appreciate that you are here and that I get to be on this journey with you. Your stories deserve to be seen, and your newsletter is the key to making that happen. I will see you next Monday, where we'll be talking about another author marketing strategy that keeps you writing and building that readership without burnout. That is key. I'll see you next time.
Ain't never needed Poppy's blessing, no. You need keep working just to get it, though. I know she carried your whole world.